Chief Annie Smith, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Chief of Investigations. Today we're here to talk about the results of an investigation that started on Monday at the CVS pharmacy with the robbery and attempted murder, and ended yesterday with the shooting of that suspect who we provided you with the information on. His name is Herman Isaiah Pickens. He has been charged with armed robbery, attempted murder, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The photograph of the gun that you see here was the one that was found at the scene of the police-involved shooting yesterday. That was in the black bag that the suspect was holding. It was reported stolen in 2009. We'll provide you with a copy of that report as well. It's a Smith & Wesson 9mm and had 11 rounds in the magazine. We're still processing evidence from the scene at the Mojo restaurant. I'm sure that's what you all want to know. We have not charged him yet. We're still processing evidence, and as soon as we have confirmation and we can charge him with it, we will. But we have not done that at this time. Detectives yesterday received tips from citizens, both at JSO and through Crime Stoppers, that led us to the identity of Pickens. We followed up on those tips, and that is how we ended up in the situation we were in yesterday. Recently, we had several high-profile cases in Jacksonville, and those have been solved with the help of tips from the community. The sheriff always says, don't need your support, and we do need your support, but we need your involvement. And we wouldn't have been successful, I don't think, in solving these crimes as quickly if we hadn't had the tips from the citizens that we've had on these high-profile cases lately. So we appreciate what you're doing out there, and continue to encourage citizens to call us whenever they see anything suspicious or have any information, even if it's seemingly insignificant, to let us know. That's all I have at this time. If you have any questions, I'll answer.
Chief, what about the people that were in the car, especially the driver, who apparently impacted your police Tahoe? What charges on them are?
They were brought down yesterday and interviewed. No one has been arrested as of yet, but we are still following up leads related to that.
But yet we've got a Shanta Melton, who I would think might have been one of those in the vehicle, arrested about the same time and booked?
I'm not familiar with that.
How did the accident happen exactly? Because, I mean, it looks like one car, the gold car, coming out of the gas station, and yours looks like it's going in. How did that happen?
We'll have to wait to see what the investigation, the evidence technicians collect and photograph everything, mark everything on the road. I don't have that information for you right now.
How is he doing as far as yesterday said if he survives, you'll be able to talk to him?
My understanding, he's still in the hospital.
Are they waiting on more evidence before charging him? Do you know if he is connected to the CVS robbery and the Mojo robbery as well?
As soon as we're able to definitively prove that, we will charge him with that, and we'll let you know. But at this time, we're still waiting for some evidence to do that.
Could there be more suspects out there?
We're still following up on leads, so if there is any additional information that comes up or any additional suspect names, we'll follow up on that as well.
In a case like this, where you have another witness, like in the Mojo's robbery, if there was someone else in the store at the time, would that person be identifying the suspect?
We always hope that there are witnesses that can help us identify suspects. Trust me, we have exhausted a lot of effort in canvassing areas. Every business in that area was contacted to see if anybody saw anything suspicious, and if they did, that they were interviewed.
You talked about the importance of this gun when it comes to ballistics, as well as two people shot at, and some forensics available. Talk to me in general about the investigative tactics that are going into that gun.
The gun has been sent to the lab, and we're waiting to find out if whatever they can find at FDLE as far as the gun, the casing, any other evidence related to that, and any other evidence that was seen.
In the report, it says how one of the victims, or one of the witnesses actually mentioned how the gun jammed. Is there any way that the investigators able to go this gun tied to that, and if it's on the jam?
That's still part of the ongoing investigation, and as details come out, when we finally, everything is concluded, all of that will be released.
And you?
Those bullets look really old. I mean,
Yes, they do.
It looks like this gun had been fired a long time.
Well, the bullets look the way they look. I don't know if that necessarily means that they're not capable of being fired.
Yes, some spent cases there. Were they recovered at one of the scenes, or?
Everything that is in this photograph was recovered yesterday at the scene of the police-involved shooting.
From the bag. We know the motive is robbery. Was there anything else that you have been able to discern as far as drugs, or do we have any other information as to what was
I don't
going
think
on?
we know what the motive was at this time. I mean, charged with the robbery. If that was his primary motivation, I wouldn't press that kind of question.
He said, give me the money, to both people.
I don't know what his motivation was.
Any other questions?
Was it a tip that led the officers to the gas station?
It was a tip that led us to the identity of Pickens,
At that scene or at that?
of who he was.
Since you had a very clear set of surveillance photos of him in the hoodie.
Yes,
It was
it was a very
easy.
good picture. So we were expecting to get tips that somebody would recognize that person because the video surveillance that we provided to the media was a very good picture. And we did. The results were good. People called in and led us to the identity of him, and his identity was confirmed, and that's how we located him.
And you can't emphasize enough how helpful this is.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of good police work goes on here, but a lot of what we do hinges on what happens in the community. You're our eyes and ears. You call us and tell us when things are suspicious, and it could be 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the morning. We're always out there. So don't hesitate to call. Don't be afraid to call. Don't think you're bothering us. And even if it seems insignificant, it could lead to something, something very important like this.
And that number would be?
You can call 630-0500 to call the police directly.
And how long had you been under surveillance? And it was only like 40 hours time Monday and captured yesterday, but how long?
As soon as we positively identified him as our suspect, we sent our tactical people out to locate him and surveil him.
Was that within like hours of that picture being put on TV or automatically being put?
It was yesterday. Throughout the afternoon, we were working leads, and then when it was finally confirmed that that was our suspect, that's when we sent people out.
All right.
How did you end up at the?
At all, should neighbors still be in fear if there are other suspects out there, or what about the victims or the witnesses for the 2 robbers at CVS that I didn't mention today? Employees still be in fear for their safety?
I can't say whether or not people should be in fear. I don't think that there's one area of this community that is safer or unsafe. And people should always be aware of their surroundings and take precautions to make themselves safe. Criminals tend to be opportunists, so you try to make yourself as safe as possible. But as far as I'm concerned, the 2 suspects that we gave you the information on yesterday, that were responsible for the shootings and the robbery that ended on Lamoya, they've both been taken into custody, and now we have Mr. Pickens who's been taken into custody. So I think that we have put a lot of people's fears at ease by taking these bad guys off the street at least.
One more question.
Do you expect him to survive this? And what led you to the department? That's 2.
At this point, I don't know what his status is at the hospital. He's still in the hospital, so I have no idea whether he's going to survive or not.
What led you to the apartment?
What led us to the apartment? The information, the tips that we were provided, and subsequent interviews after we identified him as the suspect.
Okay, thanks, Chief.